Welcome into the Slobberknocker Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Leak. We are missing Turner today. He'll be back tomorrow for our full podcast episode, but we're going to do a quick breakdown of the college football playoff today, where it is game day for the Texas Longhorns, our Texas Longhorns. First time playing in a game this big since 2009, back when Colt McCoy was slinging it around the yard. And we will start with looking at this matchup. The Longhorns come into this game 12-1, winners of the Big 12 for the first time since 2009. Washington, on the other hand, first undefeated season since 1991. Who has the edge in this matchup, Big Dog?
Texas has the better players, but not the better quarterback.
That's not true.
Again, Texas has the better players, but not the better quarterback. So my assessment is it'll come down to a fumble, a turnover, a special teams play, and or Ewers throwing a pick. But I had the special jacket made for it over in Dubai or India, wherever the hell.
All right.
And the UT logo here, vintage.
It's on the other side.
On the other side here. Right here, and so I'm wearing that today because we haven't been in the playoffs in a long time.
How much did that jacket cost you?
Yeah, a lot.
What's a lot?
There's a lot of money. But let's just say it this way. I want to have it so I'll remember this. Now, my keys to this matchup will be running.
So these are the Big Dog keys of the game.
The keys of Texas. If they run the ball, we win the game. If we try to put it in the quarterback's hands, we lose the game. Number one. And number two, they did beat our ass last year.
No, they beat us 27-20 in the Alamo Bowl, where Bijan Robinson opted out and a bunch of opt-outs for Texas. Guys didn't play. That's why they won the game.
I expect Texas to win this game, but I think our receivers need to show up big time. And that quarterback is nervous when he starts. He always throws the ball. He's always a nervous starter. And I don't have faith in that guy. I never have all year.
Well, never. I would argue that in the big games he's played in, he's actually played much better early in the game. Alabama, he came out and lit it up early on, and that was one of the biggest games. The first year when he played against Alabama, he lit it up. Against Oklahoma last year, the only game he's played in that's been a big game where he started slow was this year's game against Oklahoma.
I just think him going pro is a joke, number one. Number two,
he's not going pro.
Well, he acts like he might.
This year. He is next year.
Yeah. Well, anyway, number one. Number two, we're going to lose Archie anyway. He's going to leave.
We're not losing Archie.
Yeah, we are. He's going. Yeah, he's going. He's going.
No, he's not.
Yeah, Archie's going. Bye-bye. Now, hopefully he doesn't go to Tennessee. That's the worst school ever. That's where the producers went, and that's like a hodunk school back in
Bailey hates
inbred
Tennessee.
type of school. I shouldn't say inbred, but you know how it is back over there in the South. Sometimes it's like, a bunch of Mary's cousins and stuff marry each other. Here's the way, and then they produce coaches that can't think, and like Dabo. They produce like coaches like Dabo. Anyway,
God loves Dabo.
Texas. This is going to be a very, very weird game, and every time we play Texas has a breakdown on any big game, like literally goes in the other room and has a breakdown. So Turner can't come tonight.
Turner's coming.
No, he can't. Last time it was bad.
Turner didn't come last game.
Yeah, he came to the Texas.
He wasn't here at Oklahoma.
The Texas basketball game.
That was an absolute shit show.
It doesn't matter.
Debacle.
My point is that I can take Texas losing. It's not that big a deal. I think it's a 50-50 game. I will stick to 50-50 game. I think it's down to special teams, one turnover, quarterback throwing a pick. That's it. That guy throws a pick or two. We're done. That offense is for real. And when I watched their linebackers, Washington last time, I never watched their linebackers. And I watched them against Oregon. They're damn good.
They're not
for some reason, their linebackers stuck out to me. And I always am good at picking football players.
Here's the issue with the game, okay? Washington's path to success is what Texas does well. And in other words, the only way, in my opinion, Washington wins the game is they would have to keep Texas defense on the field, play super fast tempo. But Washington the last 6 weeks has slowed their offense down significantly. Early in the year, they played 100 miles an hour, went super fast. What did Texas struggle with? Oklahoma, super fast offense. Throw the ball down the field. Our secondary is the issue of the defense, not not the defensive line, not the run defense. Better teams than Washington have tried and failed to run on Texas. They will not be able to run the ball. So are they going to come out with a game plan where they play ultra fast, keep the defense tired?
Yes, they are.
If they do that, then I will be worried early. But I don't think so. I listened to Ryan Grubbs, their offensive coordinator. He had a press conference a couple days ago, and he talked about the ultra importance of having a run game in this one. That's idiotic. If they come out and try to run the ball, they're going to literally every team that has tried to run the ball in Texas, Kansas State averaged 290 yards a game rushing.
He already knows that. He already knows that.
They ran it for 3 quarters and then they abandoned the run and it was too late.
He already knows it.
If they try to do that, they're going to fail and it's not going to go well for them. Also, other thing, you're talking about Quinn making a big mistake. Here's a key here. Washington's defense only has 19 sacks on the entire season. They have one kid who gets pressure on them, Braylon Trice. That's it. They don't have any way to get pressure against a good Texas O-line. You cannot argue with me. If Quinn sits back there with time, he's going to pick them apart.
Here's the way I look at that. Bo, to me, right now is a better quarterback than Quinn.
Bo who?
Nix.
He's not playing Bo
It doesn't matter. They play Bo. Oregon. So Bo's a better quarterback. They literally gave him hell all day.
He lit him up.
Doesn't matter. He
wasn't under pressure.
They were playing their covered. They were covering the receivers very well, and they're a high-powered offense. So they're way more high-powered than Texas.
No, they're not. They're
oh
not
my
even close.
God.
They're so overrated. Oregon. Yes, they are.
And here's
overrated.
here's my other key. I'll make it short. Then you can say break down the analytics. Sark never been in this situation. Not a great – I don't consider him a great
That's
coach.
Not true.
Great recruiter. Not as a coach, he's not.
No, you're saying he's never been in that position. He's been an offensive coordinator for a team
it doesn't
in the
matter.
championship, won a national title.
Doesn't matter.
They have 3 coaches on the Texas staff who have played in a combined 15 college football playoff games. Washington has 0 experience. Texas has the advantage.
Who's the better coach between Sark and Washington's coach?
On a pure coaching standpoint, from a head coaching perspective, Kalen DeBoer is a better coach.
Absolutely.
However, scheming-wise and calling plays, I'm not talking about situational plays because he sucks in situational play calling. But in terms of like the game plan, Sark's going to have a better game plan. He's going to come out, guarantee you Texas will score a touchdown their first 3 drives. They will score a touchdown their first 3 drives.
You mean a touchdown each drive?
Yes, they'll score a touchdown their first 3 drives.
No way.
Yes, they will.
No way.
100% they will.
No freaking way. That would make the score 45 to 30. The score is going to be like 38-28, 38-32, whatever, something weird like that. It's not going to be. It's not going to be some 48 to 45.
Every decent team they've played, has been at least in the 30s. 31-34 against Washington, against Oregon that first time, or the second time they played. It was in the 30s the first time they played as well.
Number one, they should have had this one at the Rose Bowl. That was dumb. They should have Texas at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, but we don't want it. We would way rather play in Louisiana.
It doesn't matter.
It's a location advantage to us. We're closer to our fans.
It doesn't matter. They're going to have just as many fans there.
Also,
what are you doing? What do you hell do you do in Washington? They all got on buses. There's nothing to do in that damn state.
Yeah, but my point is, first of all, that would be a complete disadvantage. They're way closer.
They
wanted to play there.
I want to play in the same kind of environment that we are at home, which is an outdoor grass field in a bowl situation. That would have been better.
Everybody plays in outdoor. So does Washington.
Another thing is Texas should have been the early game, to be honest with you. Here nor there.
I don't care about that.
I hope the Longhorns win, actually. I really hope they win. But this time I really want them to win. Normally I don't. I'm looking at it. But looking at it coach for coach, I think we're in trouble a little bit on the coaching side.
Well, let's remember what you said when the first matchup.
I also predict maybe Quinn will get hurt.
Oh, shut up.
So Archie might come in.
That's not happening.
Yeah,
if Archie came in, we'd win. Archie would do good.
No, I think Archie might end up coming in. Go ahead.
First of all, it's Arch, by the way.
Whatever.
But
he's from Tennessee.
Isn't he from Louisiana?
Same thing. Keep going.
That's not even relatively close.
Yeah, it's worse. Louisiana's worse. Keep going.
No, but this is the same guy, remember who, when they played the first time Washington and Oregon, and we were talking about it, and I said how stupid Dan Lanning is and how good of a coach Kalen DeBoer, the head coach for Washington, is. You said Dan Lanning's a better coach. Kalen DeBoer is not that good. He's all right. I have video evidence of it. He's all right. He's a very good coach. Washington
he's better than
has no business talent-wise being in this game. And let's real quick, and we'll move on.
Quarterback to quarterback, they're better. And I've never liked a left quarterback. I can't stand lefties. They can't throw the ball. They suck.
He's
They're
inaccurate.
Horrible. He's throwing the ball incredibly well. In fact, he's gonna get a higher draft pick than you think.
In the game against
he can't go pro, can he?
Who?
Quarterback for Washington.
I mean, he's probably when you have 15 quarterbacks getting drafted.
No, he's not going to go this year. He'll go next year. I'll see if I can reach out to him.
I think does he even have a year of eligibility left? This is like his 6th year of fucking college.
Then he's going to pro this year.
He was at Indiana for 3 seasons.
Miami will take him. Let's go next one.
Yeah, but you look at Michael Penix in that Oregon game. Wasn't very accurate the first time. What was he? 59% completion the first game against Oregon. The only other defense he faced that was half decent.
That's the first game.
That was half decent was Oregon State. And that was the second to last regular season game of the year. He was 13 for 28, had 8 straight incompletions in that game. Then he played against Oregon in the championship game. He was better. He was, 27 of 39 for 300 yards. He was 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And here's the key. You said Quinn's going to make a mistake. Michael Penix has thrown an interception in 6 of his last 8 games, at least 1. He will throw an interception
He'll throw maybe
tonight.
1. Quinn will throw 2.
Here's a name to remember, Jaron Thompson, number 28. He's got 3 picks on the year. He's one of the better defensive backs for Texas. And in the biggest game of the year against Alabama, he came up with the biggest play in the game. They were down. Texas had just regained the lead by 4 in the fourth quarter. He picked off Milroe, who's a bum, by the way, and returned it almost for a touchdown. It flipped the whole game. It looked like it was going back and forth at that point. Texas goes up 2 scores, never got close after that. Jaron Thompson's going to make a big play tonight.
He's pretty good. He is pretty good. Hey, real quick, are you switching to the long camera too?
Let him do his thing, man.
Just making sure my producer's doing a good job.
He's a good producer. Shut up. Be quiet.
And my co-producer, Alex. All right, now real quick. I do think it's going to start off. Everyone's going to be a little tense. It's going to be tight. Indoor, I don't like. I don't like them playing indoor. I don't like them playing in a dome. I think that's a mistake for Texas to be playing in a dome. That's number 1. Number 2. I do think special teams will matter. And number 3, if you look at it, each of these guys had 3 weeks to plan. If I look at coach to coach, Sark is all about offense. So if I look at coach to coach, I'm going to go with Washington's game plan over Texas.
I disagree with that.
I mean, that guy does not adapt, Sark, at halftime ever. Just things have been happening for Texas. So the Texas has got the advantage in that things have been happening for them.
Texas has been rolling as of late. They're playing their best football. Yeah, Washington is not. Washington played Arizona State earlier this year, right after the Oregon game.
That's earlier this year.
I know, but let me go through this. They played Arizona State earlier this year, right after the Oregon game. They were at home. They were losing that game 6-7, and Arizona State had a 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line, had a chance to put the game away, ended up losing because of a pick 6. Washington didn't score an offensive touchdown that game. They followed that performance up, barely beating a horrible Stanford team on the road. Then they played USC, couldn't stop that offense. The Washington defense gave up 42 points in that game. USC was horrible the second half of the year. Barely beat Utah at home. Barely beat Oregon State on the road. Should have lost to Washington State.
Texas had slow starts in every game. It's irrelevant.
Every single game.
A slow start to Texas Tech.
Every single game. No, they didn't. Every single game that Washington has played in the second half of the season has been a tight game. It's been a tight game, and they've been in a position to lose. They're the TCU of this year. They could easily have 3 or 4 losses, and they're in the playoff. Now, they could win this game for sure. Anything can happen in a playoff scenario, but the point is the better team is clearly Texas. They have the better talent. They have the better game plan. Clearly, they have a better play caller.
They do.
And they have the better quarterback.
They have a play caller possibly. Let me say one thing. Does a quarterback for Washington Penix, does he run a lot?
No, not at all.
Okay.
He's actually got negative rushing yards on the season.
That's fine. And Texas's quarterback won't he does run. He can run.
He's more of a threat to run than Penix is.
He is, but my point is, in this kind of game, that's going to be the last thing he does.
He had one game, Michael Penix, this entire year where he had positive rushing yards, and it was the second game of the year against
Tulsa. I think they're going to float him around a little bit and have him do a couple of runs. But anyway, I need this jacket to carry on during the week, so I'm going to pick Texas.
How much is Texas going to win by?
7 points.
All right, 7 points. Okay, I think Texas is going to win. I picked Texas by 3 early on, and then I changed when I looked at the matchup. I'm going to say Texas wins by 10. Even though I could see them choking late and being up and lose the game, I'd be surprised if Washington just blows them out. I wouldn't be shocked if Texas blew them out, but it'll probably be a tight game until
Texas blows them out. It gets up, or we're going to have a tight game, and I do think that quarterback for that team. I can't stand that he's a lefty. I can't stand that I don't like the way he throws the ball, but I think he's going to outplay Quinn.